Tell you about it.
Good morning, everyone. If you came in, you couldn't miss the 5 pods that we have. They're almost full. Lots of donations coming in, and we have a corner over there. So we have lots of donations, but we're lacking one very important component. Does everybody know what YSV stands for? Yard sale volunteers. Pay your dollar. I need volunteers Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Without 20 volunteers coming forward, we're not going to have the garage sale. Or we'll have it, people just walk off with it. A couple of hours, 3 hours, but I need you to sign up today. I'm serious. We need volunteers. I've got about 5 volunteers, and I need about 25. So please see me as you go out today. I'll have this sign. It'll say yard sale volunteers. We'll fill in the blanks. Stop. I'll call you, or you can tell me when you want to volunteer. But it's essential to the success that you guys step forward and volunteer. So I'll be looking forward to talking to you. Also, we're having a pre-sale. We've got about 60 or 70 items outside that are for sale. If you want to go buy today, you can buy today.
Yeah, that's it. You want to get the good stuff, go look at it today. No, there's lots of good stuff. Saturday, there'll be fun, lots of stuff. Family room was packed last year, absolutely packed. Teens are going to camp. Every summer, camp up in Idlewild, Camp Buckhorn, all the teens from all the U.S. Centers for Spiritual Living go to camp, all from the western region up there. It's a wonderful week-long camp. It's a life-changing experience for our teens. If you're wanting to give back and support the teens and carrying this message into the future, please have a piece of pizza after lunch. That helps, or after service. That helps our teens. That's one of their fundraisers for going to camp this year. So they're selling pizza after service. I think it's only $5. Stop and do that. Education. It's not too late to sign up for summer classes. Reverend Lori is teaching Monday nights. Reverend Catherine is teaching on Tuesday nights, the Roots class. So please stop at the family room table and check it out. There's a whole summer program in your program today about what's being offered this summer. Today we have a fabulous workshop. We have a wonderful workshop with our very own angel lady, Janice Hope, and she's going to come up and tell you about it.
Well, I love the fact that, hi. I love the fact that that's going to be up in Idlewild, the teen camp. I had 2 teenagers that went through that, and I lived in Idlewild for 22 years. So it's just all one big family, and now I'm down here because I met a wonderful man online that happened to be coming to this church, a member of this church. This is my husband down here. And that's how I ended up here. So yes, I am called the Angel Lady, and the whole point of what I do is to talk about love. Really, we are not alone, and through all our ups and downs, we have amazing things that happen to us. And so I'm going to share those stories, and I'm also going to be teaching a method called Infinity Breathwork that helps us to ground and open to this divinity that's truly always with us and around us and through us. So I hope you can all join me. It's today at 1. Run out, get some lunch, have some pizza, and come back. It's going to be fabulous. And I have an amazing didgeridoo player that's going to be working with me. So it's going to be really awesome. So please come.
Last but not least, it's time for Seaside's Got Talent. Is that what it's called? Seaside's Got Talent, the annual talent show. Reverend Fran is holding auditions this Wednesday, so get your act together and come on out. The show is July the 12th, so Reverend Fran can tell you more about it if you have any questions. And on that note, why don't you stand and greet your neighbors, share your talent, share your love, and please remain standing for the congregational song.
Please remain standing. It's time for us all to sing together this morning. We're singing, I Got Peace Like a River. I got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul.
I got love like a mountain.
I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like a mountain. I got love like a mountain. I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I got love. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul.
I got peace like a river.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. That's right.
Peace like a river in my soul. Good morning. I'm Reverend Tammy Mars. It's my joy to be with you here today. We got the energy going, this, that, and the other. You know, I love the fact that, of the power that deciding to come to a service, what that does for us. It's so powerful because as we start thinking about it, we start shifting our awareness and our focus to something that's bigger, something that's grander. And we just have this like knowing that as we come here, that we hear, we remember key things, and we are friendly, and we meet people, and life just lifts up because of that. And it not only blesses us, but it blesses those that we come in contact with. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your yes. I know that God will fill your spirit in magnificent ways today, and I know that your life will reflect it. So together, let's remember and be on this journey. I have the pleasure of being here. Reverend Christian Sorensen, for those of you that might be new, is our senior minister, and he's in Costa Rica with his family. So I am the executive director. I've been here at Seaside over 20 years, and I have the joy of delivering the message today. So I look forward to sharing that with you. But right now, why don't we start this service by moving our full awareness attention to God. So we're anchoring this in with our master practitioner, Linda Light.
So I just invite you to just go into the stillness. In this place of stillness, I just evoke the omnipresence of Spirit within. Knowing, sensing, feeling. Spirit moving in, as, and through me, in, and as each one of you. Filling up, emptying out, being present. Listening with our hearts wide open to Reverend Tammy's message. listening with our hearts wide open to the music. Blessing everyone, everything in this moment of love. Feeling gratitude in my heart. What a joy and blessing it is just to be here in this moment. And so it is.
Shandakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadrasham Shandakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Amen. Namaste.
And that was the amazing Nadine Risha. She opens her mouth and angels fly out, is what happens when Nadine sings. So we're in for a treat today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Catherine Economo, and it's my honor to welcome you here to Seaside this morning. Here at Seaside, we are a spiritual community. We are a spiritual family, creating a space for each of us to have this amazing adventure that is our life. And so we come together to journey together through the great times and celebrate those amazing moments, and to come together to support each other in consciousness and knowing the truth when we hit those more challenging points. And so please know that we are here to support you through our services, through our classes, with our practitioners. This is a place of healing, this is a place of love, and this is a place of light. And so we're so grateful that you chose to be with us this morning. I'd also like to say a special welcome to anyone who's joining us for the first time this morning. And I'll encourage you to come and see us at our Welcome Center by the back doors after. We've got a welcome packet for you with information about who we are and what we're doing here at Seaside. And it has a certificate for you for one of Dr. Christian's books that you could get in the bookstore. So thank you for joining us here. I have a brief moment to just share, when you give a minister the mic. And since I'm the director of education, I get to let you know we're in the beginning of our education cycle. So you've got your flyer in the program. And there's 2 classes I wanted to highlight really briefly. One is Reverend Lori's doing financial freedom on Monday evenings. And I need to tell you, it's really not about the money. And so this class is really about freedom. It's a very interactive workshop class that gives you a lot to add to your toolbox in terms of walking through processes and great exercises. It's really fun, and it's powerful and transformative. So if you're considering that, and you don't need to have taken foundations for that class, so please come talk to me about it in the back. The other is my Tuesday night. We're doing Roots of Science of Mind, and so we're looking at some of those wisdom writers who inspired Ernest Holmes as he put together the Science of Mind. And so we're really focusing more on the wisdom than the academic piece of this. So we're looking at the wisdom that inspired Ernest Holmes and finding how we can personally put that into practice in our life. So it's kind of a fun class. So please talk to me about that. And how blessed are we today to have Reverend Tammy Mars with us sharing her talk. She's a blessing to this community and has been for, I can say it, for decades. But I mean that with love. Okay, so her title today is the title of our reading, which is Setbacks Are Setups. And so I'll invite you to take a nice deep breath and close your eyes and just open to this wisdom. Spiritual growth is not based on how many classes you've taken or how many years you've engaged in spiritual practices, nor is it based on the number of advanced trainings you've been involved in facilitating and degrees you've got hanging on your wall. Rather, spiritual growth is a sense of harmony in your human affairs with no great emotional roller coaster or fluctuation in facing the human condition. This kind of harmony is not based on outcome or income. It is a natural spiritual state. Our spiritual identity is not based on changing, correcting, or manifesting anything in this world of form. All discord is a belief that you have a life separate from God. Harmony is. Not will be or can be, it is. And so just taking a breath and taking it, that feeling of isness deeper. Knowing that we are connected here in this infinite presence, this spiritual family that is the manifestation of God. Seaside is the expression of that divine light, that divine life, as each of us is. There is wisdom and harmony and love revealing itself in every breath, in every thought, in every word. Each of us is that divine channel of life unfolding in our own individual adventure. And so I know here, as we pause in this moment to remember God as our lives, I know that each is guided and guarded and supported by this infinite wisdom of the ages. I know that Spirit pours itself forth through each of us, revealing that individual gift unto the world, and that all of nature corresponds to that, supports it, sings the divine yes, and that this path that we are walking unfolds in grace and in ease and in peace and in love. And so in that there is healing and there is wholeness, there is light and there is harmony, and there is infinite opportunity to speak the word, to take the step, and to share the gift. And so it is with a grateful heart that I bless this day. I celebrate the healing happening here simply as the revelation of wholeness and the realization of the divine life. And I honor and celebrate the light shining forth that each is. So with a grateful heart, I surrender it and allow it to be. And so it is.
Good morning, how are you? Hello? Can you all hear me? Really well. I'm not talking loud today, I'm just talking soft. So good to hear you, good to see your smiling faces, and Look at y'all. You look beautiful. It looks summertime here now, isn't it? You're getting ready for shorts and swimming and so forth. This morning it was so cool at our house. I thought, I don't know, you just never know what you're going to have to put on, right, to do the whole deal. Hey, I'm just supposed to introduce a guest artist, but I always like to chat with you a minute. And I wanted to tell you, because I really don't do talks, and I do choir, and choir's out, so they're not listening to me now. So I don't get that Wednesday, 2.5 hours to talk to them. Listen, back at in the family room on the music table, there are registration forms for you to fill out if you would like to be part of the talent show. This Wednesday is the audition time, so it will be audition time at 4. What is Ariana, 4 o'clock? Ariana, that's our secretary. Ariana, raise your hand for just a minute in case you want to talk to anything about that. There she is. We'll be out in the gazebo area, and we have about 20 acts so far, but if you have something burning that you would like to express, now's the time to do it because we have so much fun at these talent shows. And I think there's going to be snacks and so forth, right? Okay. All right. I like snacks. Okay. Nadine Risha has come to us again. She is a very, very busy lady. And this morning when everybody was mesmerized by her first performance, and as you were with her chant. She travels the world, uplifting souls through the power of music. She just returned from singing at the African Choral Festival in Ghana and is on her way to Peru, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. Her CDs are available today after the service, from world chants to inspirational songs, and she's truly a gift. Would you please welcome her to the stage?
If my life could be all my life should be, I would learn to trust God at every turn. I would hear God's voice and my heart would surrender, then truly depend on Him. I'd go fearing any road in front of me. I'd give without glory, love without limit, go without knowing wherever Spirit leads. If my eyes could be opened wide, I'd be blind to me, so I could see what God sees. Beyond asking why, I'd surrender my life and still gladly lay down my will. I'd go without knowing, do without doubting, without fearing any road in front of me. I give without glory, love without limit, go without knowing wherever Spirit leads. Oh, to truly give my all, to His call, and I'd go without knowing, do without doubting, face without fearing any road
That is Nadine Risha. Is that beautiful? I think that is literally one of the most beautiful voices I've heard. That is really gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. So beautiful. So good morning, everyone. You know, I was asked to do this talk. Reverend Christian, as I mentioned, is off in Costa Rica, and he lines us up months in advance. And, you know, I always like to speak about what I'm living, you know, what I'm going through and applying the spiritual principles. So this isn't just theory, but this is real, you know, where we're at. And just so happens right now that two of probably the most important, most spiritual people that I even know that are in my life are going through a very difficult time right now. And I'm very fortunate because I live with my husband, Reverend Rick Mars, and he's one of them. And we're blessed from the standpoint that we've put enough years and focus and attention on this study that I understand, or we get the opportunity to see where God is and to keep applying God and keep bringing our awareness and attention back to God. And, you know, the truth is that none of us go through a straight, blissful life. You know, we're alive. And there's a time and a season for all things. And the challenge is, and I think you all can relate, is that when it gets difficult, we just hate it. We just scratch and scrape and do anything that we can just to get out of that space that doesn't feel very good right now. And so what I want to talk about today, as I mentioned, you know, I started thinking about this a while ago, that, you know, walking through the tough times. How do we know God in the tough times? How can we find just a little bit of peace during the tough times, during the difficult times? And then it was just like a week ago, I looked in the book and looked at the topic today, and it's setbacks or setups. And I'm like, how perfect is that? It's right in alignment with where I'm at. But I wanted to start today with a reading from the Bible. And this is a reading that we've all heard before. And in fact, it was sung about in the 60s with the song Turn, Turn, Turn. And it is Everything Has Its Time. And I just want to remind us with these words. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to gain and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. It goes on to say, what profit has the worker from that in which he labors? He, meaning God, has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from the beginning. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good in their lives. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all of his labor. It is the gift of God. For there shall be a time there for every purpose and for every work. And so I was reminded of that as I was thinking about that it's true. There's a time when we're crying. There's a time when we're happy. There's a time when we're sad. There's a time when we're grieving. There's a time when we're frustrated. There's a time when we're angry. There's a time, I mean, we are human. We have it all. It is all flowing all the time. And oftentimes in this teaching, this metaphysical teaching, we talk about what's possible in the grace of God and the allness of God, which is right there. And that is one of our tools from which we can shift our focus to remember the truth. But what I want to talk about today is the fact that when we are in the tough times, when we're having those difficult times, not to feel ashamed, not to think we're doing something wrong, but to literally know how we can walk through these times of grace, knowing that it simply is just that. It is a stepping stone for us. It is a transformation that is in unfolding. It is something dying within us and something new being birthed. And so when I look at this, so often we'll get into these times, and it's natural for us. We'll just be so frustrated. We're like, I study this stuff. I've been doing this work. I've been following this. And why? Why does this keep coming back up for me? Why do I keep experiencing pain? Why am I still frustrated? Why is this happening? And the truth is that's the evolution of life. I've had the opportunity to deal with this with my husband, Rick. He had a knee replacement. And normally, or a lot of times, people go through knee replacements. We've heard it from everyone. It's the greatest miracle that ever happened, and you just go through it, and then it's not long, and you're moving. Well, that frankly hasn't been our experience. Our experience has been almost the opposite, actually. That it's been extremely painful. It is required a lot of attention. It is not doing what it's supposed to do. All the measuring is how flat can it go and how much does it bend. And we work and work and work all day, every day, all week. We go to the physical therapist and it hasn't changed or hasn't moved. And it is so frustrating. And you think, wow, okay, now, so what can I do? And we go to gratitude, and we go to all of these things, to understand it. And the truth is that this is just sad, that it's just frustrating, that it's just difficult. And what I do know, and as we talk and as we discuss that, what we realize is it's really not about the knee at all. It really is just a vehicle, a vessel, and we all have our own that we take, that, if you will, that transforms us. That because of this, because of what's happening to us, it changes us. And so we were talking the other day. I had this experience when my father passed away. This has been in 2004. And, immersed in this spiritual teaching, I remember this feeling that I had, that I was very close to him and I loved him very much. And when he passed away, it was really the first main person in my life that this had happened with. And I remember the feeling inside of me that I had this deep knowing, I had this connection to God, I had this deep peace, and I cried. And I had thoughts like, what's the point of this? What's it worth? Why are we alive? We just, all of those thoughts that you have. And it dawned on me because I was witnessing myself having both the dialogues going at the same time. And I just thought it was so incredibly interesting. And that's really the way it is that the truth of our being, especially when we do the work and we understand it and we know the truth of our being is that I am peace, that peace is, that grace is always available, that it's here for me right now. And when I am of this world, I have sadness, I have grief, I have challenges. And so what I realized, and we came up with this analogy, which I've shared with some of our classes, the people who have been in class, but it really works for me because it takes the energy out of when it's not working and beating ourselves up. And it's kind of like when our vibration or our energy is low, our life energy is low, and that's when we're grieving or we're sad or our body's not hurting or working or we're physically having challenges, our energy gets low. And I don't know if you've ever noticed it before, but when my energy gets low, I always have the same kind of thoughts that I'm thinking about over and over again, oh, this is difficult, why this, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, I don't like this, on and on. And so I was talking to Rick about it, and he said, yeah, it's kind of like a dresser drawer. That in the lower drawer, which is the lower vibration, you have a whole group of thoughts and things that you do, like eat ice cream and a whole bunch of stuff that you store in the lower drawer. And when you go there, you know it. You can recognize it. Oh, there's that thought again. Oh, there's that desire to do that again. It's like lower drawer thinking, And then what happens is that you raise up, you come into a service and you shift your focus, you shift your attention, and then all of a sudden you're up a drawer too. And isn't it funny that when you're feeling good and you're feeling connected, you have completely different thoughts? And you see beauty, you laugh more, you see joy and all of this. So energetically, it's kind of an amazing kind of thing. You raise your energy and you kind of go to a new set of statements and circumstances and stuff that you store in that drawer. And as you grow spiritually and you know more truth and you get a better sense of that connection, you even get a higher drawer that you get to go visit, and a higher drawer that you get to go visit. But to think that you're going to hang out in that highest drawer in bliss all the time is just not realistic. It's not of this world. So it became really simple, and it became really easier to just become conscious and aware, which is what the spiritual journey is. It's about awake and aware. It became really felt so much better to say, geez, I just woke up in the bottom drawer today. You know? And to know that that's where you're at. Right now I'm in the bottom drawer. I know it. I remember that sentence that I stored there, and that feeling that I stored there, and that. Or, you know, I'm doing really good. I'm in one of my higher drawers today. And so it takes away the guilt. It takes away the shame. It takes away anything. It just is. It just is. Now I know I don't have to stay there, and I know there's tools that I can use that can lift me up and pull me out of it. But the first step is to be conscious and aware that you're even there. And then not feel so disempowered that you have to stay there, but to really be detached from it and say, this is where I am, this is human, it's part of the journey, this is just what I'm experiencing. I read an analogy when I was studying for this, when I was preparing for this, and I really like it. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I like it. And it's an analogy of a warehouse. And that's really how I feel most of the time. It's like, all right, if we were to even use this room or warehouse, already within the warehouse, or within me, really, but within the warehouse is everything. Everything that God is, everything that life is, all of the good in infinite supply, bigger than I've ever seen before or could ever know. All the peace of mind, peace and love and joy and abundance and health and well-being is in this warehouse, along with all the other particles of being human, frustration and anger and tiredness and all of those things. It's all in there. That's just life. Because as we look at it, it's kind of like the Tao, you know, it is all one. It's all kind of melting together. But in this warehouse, what happens is if it's completely dark and you can't see anything, if you bring a flashlight to the warehouse, then you're pointing on a certain thing, like I'm pointing on a knee right now, right? And that's all I'm seeing. That's all I can see. All of my attention, all of my focus, everything is on just that angle right now. Now, in the rest of the warehouse, there's peace and love and joy and all of those things, but I've brought a flashlight, and my focus is there. But my focus needs to be there. This is important. You know, when you're sick or you have something going on in your body or something that's pulling or calling your attention, it's got your attention, and it's there. So it's not wrong that you're on that. But there's this sense that I'm in the warehouse and all the rest of the stuff is there, and it's waiting for me, it's available for me, and it's there for me for when I'm ready to turn to it, I'm ready to recognize it or realize that. And what I know from this is that when I get out of balance, you know, it shows up in my body and different things. When I get in that space, I know I've been focusing too long in one direction. That's all I've been looking at. And so really what it is, again, it is about shifting your focus. It's about having a focus where your attention is that's balanced. Yeah, we got to deal with the hard stuff in life and the difficult things that we have to deal with. I'm not saying not, but we just need to balance it out. We need to go for a walk on the beach. We need to go see a child laugh or play. We need to shift our awareness and our focus so that the intensity is not so big, where we build back up and we get our strengths and we go, oh yeah, all is well. And we realize that, and then we can turn to that which we need to focus on that doesn't affect our body and our life and everything as drastically. I love that warehouse analogy because that's what it really feels like for me. I know it's there. I know I am. I know God in its fullness. It's just currently there. I may not be experiencing it because of where my focus is, and that's the only reason not. But it's there, and it's available to me. Tammy Mars is the speaker, and you heard a little bit about her coming. She's coming next week, and she's written a couple of books, and Christian just loves her. He thinks that she's literally one of his favorite authors. And she wrote this book, This Time I Dance. And she talks a lot about living your life and making your abundance in that which you love, doing that which you love and having it support you. And I wanted to share, because this is kind of in alignment from her book, one of the things she talks about. She says, of course it's hard not to want to look for a way out of the way through. But this much I know. Every genuine tear contains magic healing properties. We actually need some frustration, exasperation, doubt, self-criticism, desire, and rage. This kind of soul feuding hurdles us spinning out of our bodies so we can't ever squeeze back into our tiny familiar selves. Our hurdles will stop us, enrage us, and engage us until we summon a wild power from the bowels of the will we did not even know we had. Then we can never mask our magnificence, even to ourselves. And I love this sentence. Others can hand you their power, but they can never hand you yours. Nice. Rise in the fight and flight of transformation. We become pure of heart, strong of gift, and furiously alive. We meet, heal, love, forgive, receive, and complete ourselves. She's powerful. Be sure you see her next week. And so what happens here is when we're in the midst of it, and every time we get in the midst of whatever it is that doesn't feel good, we finally get frustrated with it enough, or we get mad at it enough, or whatever, and we finally make the decision, and we have a defining moment. And these moments come all the time. Sometimes it takes longer than not for us to get to that defining moment. But there becomes a defining moment always where we take our power back. Where we take our power back for our attitude, we take our power back for the experience, and we take the power back from who and what we are. I know for Rick and I, with this knee experience, initially we give our power away. I don't know anything about knee replacement surgery, so I give my power and have faith and trust in the surgeon. I have faith and trust in the physical therapist. But as these things are moving back and forth, there comes a part where we need to gain our power back and stand tall and stand and know the wisdom is flowing through and as me. And that what we need to do and where we need to go, we're not victims to this, but this is actually moving and happening through and as me. And so we have that this defining moment. Marianne Williamson in her book talks about the defining moment. It says, it is a defining moment when we decide what something means. Because once you decide what it means, it becomes true for us. So we wait and ask, life, show me how to use this. Instead of a stumbling block, as a stepping stone. This thing on the surface looks like something I would never want to happen in my life. Help me see this not only as something that can be good, but that is good. And so we stop. We know that we're not going to stay in this forever. This is something that we're moving through. I love Byron Katie. She's kind of the queen of no resistance. And that really is what this journey is about. It's about trusting and having faith in the unfoldment of all things, for God is in, through, and as all things. And it's we that define it as good or bad, but it is all intended for good, as the Bible said. But Byron Katie says the only time we suffer or the only time we have pain is when we argue with what is. It's our arguing that creates our suffering and our pain. And that's like really powerful. I had a moment once with my daughter, and when this was back in 2006, she was going to have my first grandson. And he delivered, he only was a couple weeks early, and he ended up only living like 3 days. And I have to tell you, that was absolutely excruciating. I mean, that was so painful, and it just was past anything I had experienced before, that loss, especially having him and holding him. And so it wasn't too long after that she got pregnant again. And we were all elated and we were very happy. And then it was 26 weeks into the pregnancy, and I get a phone call, and she's being rushed to the hospital because her cervix is opening and the baby's not in a safe place. And I thought, I didn't have the strength to do it again. I thought, this can't be happening. Absolutely not. And and of course all the spiritual statements are it's happening for a purpose and there's a reason for it. And it was like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what that is. I do not want this baby. I don't want to lose this baby. I don't care. And so I remember at the time I called for help. And I called my practitioner because I was just panicked. And it was like, how do I be in this circumstance? I'm so frightened. And she said to me something really powerful. She said, right now, in this very moment, all is well. And it was in that very moment. She was in the hospital. She was getting care. All is well. She said, stay in this moment. Because then when the next moment comes, you'll realize that in this moment, all is well. And no matter what that moment really has, isn't it amazing on all the difficult things that we've been through, that we've always had the strength and we've had absolutely every single thing we need to make it? Because the power of that is to stay in the now. For God is in the now, the help is in the now, the support is in the now, the right thinking's in the now, everything is in the now. So in this moment, all is well. And I've never forgotten that, because that's what I try to go back to, like in the warehouse. I'm in the warehouse, and right now in this moment, all is well. All the good and all that's going to unfold in its perfection is already here with me, supporting me, guiding me, and leading me. Right now, all is well. Well, many of you have seen my little grandson, Landon, who's 5, and so it all turned out well, and we were very grateful. And she happens to be pregnant now, and so we're on the journey again. But I know all is well. All is well. So, yes. So, there's something really powerful about that, about allowing what is, fight, resist not, just kind of going with the flow. Abraham says, just let go of the oars and just ride with it. There's something very powerful about asking for help, because we don't have to do this all alone. When we dig a hole, we were talking, Rick and I were talking about this, it's kind of like when you ask for help for counseling. When you ask for help, it's a beautiful process. Because the instant you finally decide, because you all know, anyone that's ever done any counseling knows that you teeter-totter, should I not? And so you think about it, this, and that, and then you finally say to yourself, I need some help. So then you make the phone call, and then while you're waiting for the appointment to come, you're thinking and processing and growing, and all of this stuff is going on for you that's helping you to evolve and ground, and you figure out how you're going to say what you're going to say. And then when you finally come to the session and you get the opportunity to release this story and all of this, the person, the practitioner or counselor, whoever you're with, really is holding the truth. They're not in the hole that you dug with you. They're above the hole, and they're looking out, and they're knowing the truth. In fact, they got a floodlight in your warehouse where you have a little light. So that's what they're seeing, and they're just reminding you of that it's all there. It's all around us. And that's when healing happens. You see, so it's not like the counselor's this magnificent thing. You did the work. You did it all, and you remembered, and it was right there for you. And so counseling, and that is a really powerful tool, because it starts way before it ever starts, and it has so many different levels and the surrender unto it and all of that. And I came across this poem from Hafiz, which is a poet from long ago, and I loved it. He said, we should talk about this problem. That's the title of it. There is a beautiful creature living in a hole you have dug. So at night, I set fruit and grains and little pots of wine and milk beside the soft earthen mounds. But still, my dear, you do not come out. I've fallen in love with someone who hides inside of you. We should talk about this problem. Otherwise, I will never leave you alone. And isn't that true? We are never left alone. We get, no matter what we're going through at different times, we get insights, we get shaken out of where our focus has been, and we get to see a little joy, or we get to see a little different perspective, or the right person comes to us and says just the right thing, or somebody hugs us or loves us, and that is God placing outside the hole that we've dug, the little mounds, those little grains and those little treats and those little things, until finally, like all animals and all individuals do, we climb up out of it because we want to taste the glory and the good that is present there. We want to move from the light and move into the flood house, that's the warehouse that is available. And it is a process that just keeps going like that. So it's the yin and the yang, the good and bad of what we call it is what appears to be opposites, but really isn't. It is that magnificent flow of life that just keeps teeter-tottering up and up and up and brings us to our higher good. So in tough times, in those difficult times, remember, we're not alone. That there's something powerful transforming, there's something magnificent that's happening, something that's being birthed within us. We will have everything we need for this as we use the tools as we can to guide us in that way. So God bless you all as we all walk this path together. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, let's bring back Nadine Risha.
So great to be with all of you. This is a song from my heart to all of yours. I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be saved. La luce che tu dai nel cuore resterà a ricordarci che l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera. Quanta fede c'è. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be saved. A world where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended, and we'll remember we are all God's children, reaching out to touch like every child needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. En la fede che hai acceso in noi. Sento che ci
Thank you. Very proud of you. Thank you. She's awesome. That is awesome. That is so beautiful, isn't it? And you can take a CD home with you. You can't take her home with you, but you can take a CD home with you too. So do support her. That's how she touches the world. And she goes all over the world sharing this beautiful gift. Thank you. Thank you. So this is the time of our service for our tithes and offerings, our opportunity to be in gratitude. You know, gratitude is the same energy as abundance, and gratitude is the same energy as God, because gratitude is love. And so we come forth in this place of gratitude, grateful for this spiritual center, grateful for the place that we can come and be with people of like mind that are changing the world and making a difference in the world just because of the love and light that's in their hearts, those that are committed to their good. So I'd like to call the ushers forward at this time as you prepare your offering. I also want to say thank you to those that are on our systematic giving program. We call it our auto tithe program. Either on a monthly basis where you can have your credit card debited or your checking account debited, which is a nice way because that is a free service to the church. And it allows you to consistently give. We've created these cards, they call our auto tithe cards, so that when the basket comes forth, you are in that space and that energy of giving and of gratitude for what you have given. And so that's what these cards are. So thank you to those that are in our systematic giving. And if you're interested in that, there's applications in the back. So thank you all for serving, for the gift that you are giving, for being here too. So thank you. So let us just turn within right now and move into that place of our hearts, that place of love, that place of God, that place of gratitude, that place of good. As we say, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this abundance that we are holding right now, that we are so graciously preparing to put back into the circulation. I know that this came from another individual that released it for one purpose and one purpose only, for my good. And I have graciously enjoyed this, and I pass this forward. And I look and feel with excitement because I know that it moves into the hands of someone else so that they too can experience their good. For we live in this circulation of the all good. I'm grateful that this has come forth to touch the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living and the thousands of lives that walk through these doors. Something powerful, something magnificent is happening. And so I sit in that place of complete gratitude for each of you, for your givingness, and for the good that you are. And so it is. Amen. And so together let us say our affirmation that says, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Thank you. How blessed we are. I want to take this moment and be in conscious recognition and awareness that this is the activity of God. It is right here. It's come forth for one purpose, and that's the purpose of good. So let us just turn within as I bless this offering. For I can feel the love that is vibrating within it and the good that it's going forth to produce. And so with a gracious heart, I say thank you, Mother, Father, God. I am so grateful to be anchored and to be awake and aware of the truth and the good that is forever flowing. It is with eyes of awe that I just give great thanks. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. This is Robin Mitchell, one of our board members. Thank you, Robin. Special thank you to our magnificent band. Aren't they awesome? This is Jerry and Lynn and Tom and Bob. Our incredible guest artists today, Nadine Risha, the beautiful, glorious Reverend Fran. Isn't she cute? She is so cute. Thank you, Catherine. It's always nice to work with you. Thank you. Our guys in the back, we have Matthew that's training. We have Ed. We have Marv. Thank you for that. Here comes our beautiful little children. Little lights of God, just delivered. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. Here comes one. Thank you to all of you for being here, for sharing your love and your light and sharing it out into the world. We're so grateful for that. A couple things that I want to just remind you of. Today is a really, really big day in the life of Seaside. It is the last day of our Gourmets for God. All right, so what's happened is about 30, I think there's 33, 34 people have come together and sat down and thought of the most fun event they could ever think of in the whole world and invited you to come. So they're all back there, Gourmets for God, your booklets in your program, and you can bid on them. And it's a fundraiser. 100% of the money goes to support this spiritual concept, this idea that we call Seaside, but you get 100% of all the fun that is happening there. And there's all kinds of great things. So today's the very last day, and what will happen is if you win, then you will receive a call this week from one of the people that are staffing this, and they'll call you and let you know that you won and what the donation amount is and when, where, and can confirm everything up with you. So be sure that you're back there because at the end of the close today, those are the winners that are there today. So be part of that. We have also our angel lady that's going to be here, Janice Hope, to share with her workshop today, so stay afterwards. The teens are selling pizza so that we can have a little something to eat, and we can come and get more in tune with those that support that's here always, that's helping us, so good for that. Yard sale this coming Saturday. If you haven't cleaned your closet out, it's the best time to do it. Just get rid of all of that stuff, make room for the new. Yard sale is Saturday here. As Keith told you that he has some things for sale today, it's an advance sale there today, and he also could use some help to help get it all prepared and ready. Flowers today were by Bill Mills for his wife Nancy. It's her birthday, so how sweet is that? So great. I think that's about everything. It's a glorious day out there. Now we're all charged up and full of God, ready to go share it. Let's turn within and move into that space of prayer. As we close our eyes to this outside world, I invite the practitioners, anyone that's practitioners are here, to stand up and hold the light with me. We close our eyes, resembling that idea that what is out there is already created, and we are moving into that God space, that place of new creation, new beginnings of all good. Recognizing that there is one power, and one presence. Not a power of good and a power of evil. There is one power and one presence. And in that power and presence, there's an infinite intelligence, a wisdom that is guiding, leading, supporting, transforming, and lifting up its beloved child, whom which it's well pleased. And so I know for each of us as we journey along this path that all that I am is God. It is the intelligence that inhabits the billions of cells in my being. It is the thought forms that are everywhere present. It is the law of attraction that calls forth everything and everyone and every circumstance that I could possibly need. It is the warehouse that is filled to infinite flowing, overflowing more than you could ever know. It is that wisdom that is beyond what we can even comprehend. It is that moment right here, right now, where all is well. And so I bless each of us as we stand in this very, very precious moment, filled with the allness, the grace, the love, the glory of God. And so I just give great thanks for this awareness, for this attention and attention in this direction, for I know that I stand as an unobstructed vessel, allowing all to flow through and as my very being. And so it's with that I give thanks. As I release this word into that eternal, yes, I watch with awe and as I see the magnificence of its manifestation. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on! I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know that I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Then there's no more struggle, no more. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Now, Seaside, can y'all sing though? There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. I'm only here for
And our affirmation for the day is, Spirit lifts me ever higher. Together. Spirit lifts me ever higher. One more time. Spirit lifts me ever higher. And the grace song.
I'm living in love, I'm living in peace, I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace.
We are living in Hallelujah, hallelujah.
One, two.